All right, I'd like to welcome Hawaii's own Braydon Akeo, Bellator featherweight. How are we doing, my man?
Doing good, man. I think I'm about to be a bantamweight coming up, so gonna have to
You
change
know
the
what?
Instagram handle pretty soon.
To be honest with you, after I rewatched your bout against Claxton,
Hmm.
okay, and that guy was so much bigger than you, and you're not exactly a small featherweight, but I think you were pretty undersized, and really, like, I think that kind of won him the fight, just his size alone. Would you disagree?
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna use that as an excuse, but I didn't cut any weight for that fight. I literally woke up 146 and a half. I cut maybe half a pound to make weight. I didn't cut any water weight. I was fully hydrated, so I feel this move to bantamweight is only right, only makes sense.
Okay, well, Bellator's bantamweight division is pretty fucking exciting right now. You just had the title, the vacant title, get some hands on it via Juan Archuleta over Patrick Mintz. How soon do you think you'll be ready to make your bantamweight debut then?
Well, I'm aiming for November. I'm not signed to Bellator at the moment, so it's looking like another promotion we're gonna have to go with. I'm looking at LFA or Titan Fighting, one of those promotions right now. I've been talking to my manager a lot, just trying to get back in there.
Okay, and the management team is Iridium.
No, I was with Iridium, but I just made the move to Ruby. That was one of the decisions I made recently. I made a lot of changes during this quarantine. Trying to get my career on the right path.
Okay, and aside from the move of division and management, which are both pretty big, what other changes did you make during quarantine that you think are going to elevate your career and get you to the next level?
Those are the two biggest things I made. Right now, my home gym where I train at Gracie Technics, they're currently shut down. So I've been having to adjust. Training situation hasn't been ideal so far, but we got to make do with what we got. I still got a lot of my teammates from Gracie Technics coming out to work with me. We just don't necessarily got our full team working together at the moment.
Okay, and as far as training partners, give me some names. Who are we training with?
My main training partners right now, Shaden Lealoha. I was going over to West Oahu MMA to get some rounds in with Maki Pitolo, Yatsi Maderos. Um, yeah, all those guys, man. We got a lot of good training partners. That's not never really an issue. Just trying to fine tune everything.
Well, I'll tell you what, Hawaii's definitely got some fucking animals over there. You guys are fucking like true fighters. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I kind of wanted to touch on that a little bit. What do you think? You know, uh, makes a Hawaii fighter so like fight ready. You know what I mean? Just down to scrap anytime, anywhere. Where do you think that comes from?
Fighting's in the culture over here, man. Growing up like, as a kid, like you gotta know how to fight. Even to this day, it's just one of those things where you can't grow up here without learning how to fight. Um, so I think that makes the transition once we start training professionally and training the right way. I think it makes that transition really easy.
Okay, and how did you get your start in fighting?
Uh, Man, I've been doing martial arts since I was 4 years old. Started doing judo and jiu-jitsu. My great grandfather was a 10th degree red belt in Danzan Ryu Jiu-Jitsu, which is like Japanese style jiu-jitsu. So I got some deep roots there. My dad wrestled through junior college. I wrestled pretty much my whole life, and after wrestling in college, it was just the natural transition over to MMA.
Okay, and let's talk about your wrestling a little bit because watching your earlier fights, the only one I couldn't find was the fight against Sean Gee. But the other two, Austin Botch and Joe Estrella, those fights were extremely dictated by your wrestling, your clinch work, and your top control. Um, getting getting the doctor stoppage over Estrella, that shit was nasty. That shit was nasty, man. That was pretty cool. But
Some great examples.
yeah, there you go. That's what I like to see. But like I said, your top control and your wrestling is a huge factor, and your gas tank. You know, I was watching the Claxton fight, and they were saying that you were getting tired, and I'm just like, what the fuck are they talking about? This guy's fucking barely breathing.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, um, over this past year, I started working with a new strength and conditioning coach, trying to get everything dialed in, trying to train the right way. But yeah, my wrestling is definitely one of my biggest strengths. Got a real high level wrestling background. I was a collegiate All-American. I trained at the Olympic training site for a few years under some world champs. So it's definitely a big part of my game. Just trying to fine tune everything else. I think this move over to Technics, working with my striking coach Ivan Flores, really helped a lot in just my IQ and fight understanding. So I'm just trying to put all the pieces together, trying to be a complete mixed martial artist.
Well, I think you're like on the cusp of it, if not already there, man. You're pretty fucking good. One thing I noticed about your fights is your distance management is pretty fucking like solid for how early you are in your career. Not a lot of fighters, a lot of fighters they'll just back straight up. You're moving side to side, you're fucking flicking the jab out there. You're managing distance very well for a fighter so young. Who do you think is giving you the path to that?
I was always good at switching stances, but like I said, working with my coach Ivan Flores and just seeing a lot of the guys that he trains and coaches, seeing how they move, kind of set me in that mindset of where I should be moving at the right time. I also got really good eyes. I'm good at seeing stuff coming, working on reacting the right way. But I think a lot of it is just my eyes, my vision. I can kind of feel where I need to be at the right moment or right time.
Okay. And outside of fighting, what are some things that you like to do, when you're not in camp?
Man, it's hard. I live, eat, breathe fighting. Besides fighting, I train other athletes and younger athletes. I have a few kids that I work with and I coach. But besides that, I'm a father of two, so I'm pretty busy all day with daddy duties. But I love fighting, man. I live, eat, and breathe this stuff.
Okay, and was there any particular fighter that you set out to emulate when you began your career?
I always try to be myself. There are a lot of similarities in my style with Max. Max Holloway. He's one of my biggest inspirations. He's one of my inspirations making the move into MMA. But I never really try to emulate anybody. I try to be myself. Yeah.
Okay. All right, very good. Okay, now when we're in camp, okay, what's playing on the stereo?
Shoot. Listen to a lot of rap, a lot of hip hop. The artists kind of change. When I'm not in camp, I listen to a lot of reggae and stuff. But when I'm training, trying to get in that mode, I listen to a lot of rap. I don't really got any favorite artists. Songs come and go. I get sick of listening to songs after a while.
Okay. All right, and then a question I like to ask all of my fighters, okay, is when we get the win, you're in camp, so basically you're eating healthy. You know what I mean? So once we get that W, what is the victory mean?
That's a hard one. When I'm in camp, I'm eating so clean. I think right out of camp, right out of a fight, I gotta get me some pizza and a beer.
There you go. Can't argue with that. And what's on tap?
What's that?
I said, what's on tap? What are you drinking?
I'm an IPA kind of guy, so I like to mix it up, see what they're serving. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I used to turn my nose at IPAs, but as I get older, you start to, enjoy the flavors and the bite that they give. So I can definitely respect that. So you say you're getting ready, you're training, you live and eat and breathe this stuff. How soon do you think that we can see you in the cage? I know you were talking about November. Do you have like a specific date in mind? Maybe an opponent that you would like to see across the cage from you? Anything like that?
So LFA, the way they've been doing their shows is they haven't been announcing their cards until like 3 or 4 weeks before the date. So I'm planning on starting camp Monday, and just being ready for anything that comes in November. Right now, everything with all this pandemic going on, everything is short notice. So I'm looking at LFA. They've been doing multiple shows every month. So once they get through the October shows, we should have some more word on what's going on in November.
Okay, and it's quite a trip from the island to the mainland.
Mm-hmm.
That's another question. I've never interviewed a fighter that has had so far to travel. When you do land for your fights, is there any type of like jet lag or any feelings that you gotta deal with when you land?
I guess it depends how far we have to travel. But I was living in the mainland for a while. I'm kind of used to it. But yeah, there's definitely some jet lag. Got to get used to the area. Just depends what kind of atmosphere we're going to.
Okay, okay. And what's
good in the cold?
yeah, what's the elevation in Hawaii?
There's no elevation. We're at sea level out here.
Okay, okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing given your fucking cardio, dude. Your cardio, your tank is pretty fucking solid, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, well, I think I'm all out of questions. I think I want to give you as much time as you'd like to thank your sponsors, your training partners, your coaches, anybody that's gotten you to this point in your career. Look, you can take as long as you want, man. The floor is yours.
All right, man. Well, first of all, I'd like to thank HKA USA, man. They're awesome. They're always hooking me up with some of the best gear out there on the market. Smoky CBD, company out in Oregon. They got some of the best hemp products out there on the market. Also like to thank Hawaii Discount Nutrition. They always been by my side for the last few years. They got some of the best products for the best prices out here on the island. Big shout out to them. There's a lot of sponsors, a lot of people out there that got me to where I'm at today. We ain't made it yet, but we'll soon.
Okay, all right, man. Well, look, you are my first official Hawaii interview. I can tell by the connection. we're at a long distance here. So, look, man, I want to thank you for giving me some time to help the wife bring the groceries in, and be sitting here and bullshitting with the guy here in Tucson, Arizona. Where it's dark.
No, man, thank you for your time. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. I live for this shit. I'm trying to give as many fighters as I can some opportunity to get some life.
Cool,
So,
man.
and, we share a common sponsor, so I'm with it, man. I'm with it 100%. So as soon as you do get booked up, short notice or not, man, give me a call. We'll have you on. We'll preview the next fight, and we'll have some fun with it, okay?
All right. Sounds good, man. Have a good one.
All right, man. Well, thank you for your time, sir. Have a good one.